Yeah, one thing about the Artemis that a lot of people really have a hard time dealing with is the fact that it's so accurate at long range, and it
Hmm.
fires quickly as well. Is there a counter for that specific aspect of the weapon?
Yes. What? Well, when you wait, counter to what?
The long range and disabling firepower of it.
Well, we're actually kind of seeing this a bit with what the Ducks took this round. The Grinchmas with its lumberjack is basically a trip Artemis Junker counter.
Hmm.
Because one of the biggest limitations of the Artemis is it can't look up too terribly well.
Hmm.
And a lumberjack excels at putting ships downwards. And so, if they can get enough lumberjack shots into the enemy balloon before the Artemises can take out that lumberjack, they've basically reduced that right-hand side to being, might as well not even having guns.
Hmm. We have shots going out from the Grinchmas already, trying to target down the Kamikaze Punk. Yeah, it's Kamikaze Punk. Bring the health bars back up here. Not much damage so far. That long-range firepower mostly missing that Pyramidion as the red team tries to get in some kind of formation. What is going to be the Duck strategy for taking on this group as they're moving through these clouds?
Looks like they're just gonna chill right there. They're gonna make sure that there's plenty of flares in the clouds. Make the clouds functionally not do anything worthwhile. And yeah, they look content to just kind of chill back here for a little bit.
Hmm. The Ducks have one flare gun between the two of their ships. It's on the spire. I'm trying to see which weapon slot that's in. Yep, top right slot.
Hmm.
Should be effective for lighting up the area directly ahead and in front. But oh my god, the clouds clear and clear line of sight between the red and blue ships. Look at that firing lane.
And we have Nubs is on that lumberjack. He is a fantastic lumberjacker. Would fly on Squash's Lucky Duck quite a bit. Not seeing
Was
the
he the
shots
gunner
at
for the Lucky Duck, or did they have a gunner?
they'd have a gunner. Basically, the way the Lucky Duck worked, and I mean how you see a lot of competitive ships work, is it's a 5-man crew where they just have one person who kind of subs around. But Nubs was definitely one of the, if not, he was always one of the heavy weapons specialists.
Absolutely.
Be
The
the
Grinchmas
lumberjack.
has lost their outer hull. They are taking some fire as they do their charge, but the Bulbous Demon has lost almost everything. They are trying to shoot out of this. Oh my goodness, this is a very tough situation right now for the Bulbous Demon. A lot of firepower has disabled their ship. They are sitting low in the sky, and now the Kamikaze Punk is essentially going to be on its own for the next maybe 10 to 15 seconds.
No, the Grinchmas armor just now went up, and I didn't have a chance to look at the actual crew, what they were doing. They were completely ignoring that armor, making sure they had all their guns firing, and I think it's paying off. Mary Tattoo's been
Absolutely.
able to take all the fire, and both of the red ships are almost down.
Yep, Kamikaze Punk and the Bulbous Demon have both sitting very low on their health. The Kamikaze Punk has almost nothing left beyond its outer hull. Its inner hull, its permahull is nearly dead. Its balloon, nearly gone. The Bulbous Demon has lost a lot of its permahull, but most of its guns are still up. There are a couple deck fires, specifically on the balloon and one of its engines. I believe that is one of the turning engines.
Ooh, actually, they were able to scoop up that kill.
Wow.
One of the issues you run in, I mean, we weren't seeing. The Grinchmas was starting to miss quite a few shots at the end and wasn't able to truly support their ally. Now they need to get the Bulbous Demon down on the ground before those Artemises can take out all of the Grinchmas's weapons.
What is the targeting priority now? Are they going to just focus all their guns on the Bulbous Demon before it can get into any kind of scrounge range, any kind of?
I mean, I would
range?
definitely start with the Bulbous Demon, get him out of the way as the Kamikaze comes forward. If he does, keep on putting him out. But I think they know if the Kamikaze comes forward, the girl with the Mary tattoo will probably arrive in time.
Mhm.
They are
Kamikaze
starting to
Punk?
switch. You are seeing they are starting to switch over to the Kamikaze Punk.
Yep, those Hades shots are landing on the Kamikaze Punk as they take a moment to reload their guns. Kamikaze Punk sitting very, very poorly. Even if the red team did get one of those kills, the blue team did accomplish something very important in my mind. They have dropped both red ships' permahulls to nearly nothing. Is
Right,
that
they'll
going
have
to
a-
be important in the long run?
Oh, most definitely. It means that they have a very good chance to pick up a very quick double kill. They don't have. They can probably get both guys in one fell swoop. Ideally, you do want to go ahead and get the kill, get the point, because it's only 5 points per game. But they're not. They haven't exactly accomplished nothing.
Grinchmas is taking a lot of fire, and actually a couple bumps there from the Elf of the Merry Tattoo. Their permahull has taken some shots, and they've lost one of their guns, two of their guns now, but fire is being placed on the Kamikaze Punk as both ships try to focus their guns on it, it seems.
Right. Let's see.
Oh no,
the red team
Demon
is pretty far. I mean, they were pretty separated. I don't know if that was intentional, but they are now getting together in the ribs. But I'm not really sure if that's a good spot because it's easy to get pinned down in the many ribs, especially if the enemy has a long-range superiority.
Yeah, those ribs can be a wonderful place to hide, but unfortunately, you're then forced to try and hide. If you're hiding, your guns probably aren't firing, and that's unfortunately how you lose a lot of games.
Now, it looks like Ducks are going to try to do the same strategy they did before. Have the Grinchmas stay back and have the Elf of the Merry Tattoo move in, charge, take all the shots. But it looks like Red is pretty intent on trying to shoot down the Grinchmas.
They know that the
Joker is
Grinchmas has a
definitely
lot
trying
of
to get
firepower. I don't know if I like the strategy, but I understand the strategy. The Grinchmas is a scary offensive weapon. Elf of the Merry Tattoo, although it has a lot of firepower, it has lost its balloon, actually. And
well, it took a massive ram from the Kamikaze.
yeah, that was a really good ram on their part. The Elf of the Merry Tattoo, I feel, if it doesn't have that Grinchmas support, all of a sudden, its survival is a little bit in question.
Now, I might have to disagree with you whether that was a good ram because, well, actually, it looks like he was just trying to get past. But yes, he did take out the Junker balloon, but it's in a horrible position right now.
Yeah, the Kamikaze Punk has exposed his engine column to the Elf of the Merry Tattoo, and he gets taken down probably because of that. There are a lot of components on the back end that you can hit very easily, and it's pretty dangerous to do that.
Now let's see if they'll be able to pick up this quick kill with the Bulbous Demon. The Bulbous Demon definitely has very little armor, but they don't have a great firing position on him yet. And also the Grinchmas is starting to fall into a huge old dust storm.
Yeah, I think the Elf of the Merry Tattoo is trying to scare the Bulbous Demon out into firing range of the Grinchmas, and it looks to have been not effective, unfortunately. Too much
Kamikaze
pressure.
Punk, though, spawned and is coming straight for the Grinchmas. Elf of the Merry Tattoo making the right call to try to come back and support.
Kamikaze Punk knows exactly what they have to do. They have to close that range with the Grinchmas before they can bring all those guns to bear. Effective firepower from the Kamikaze Punk. A nice solid bump with the nose cone of that balloon, but it has put some of the Kamikaze Punk's gun... Oh, never mind.
Not enough.
Nope. That bump was great. It didn't put them far enough out of range that they were in trouble, and now the Elf of the Merry Tattoo is in a 2-on-1 scenario.
Tattoo needs to escape out of here before that Artemis makes escape impossible. Already seen the Elf lose a lot of engines. Well, by a lot, I mean one, but I'm sure his engines are damaged. Balloon's nearly down. Two engines down.
The Bulbous Demon has really come back and refocused its firepower on the Elf of the Merry Tattoo. Two of its engines are down. The balloon is down. The outer hull is down. The perma-hull is going down very quickly. There she goes. Effective firepower.
We're seeing a 3-1 to sack.
That's pretty impressive. I think they had a disadvantage in that encounter, especially going in with the permahull statuses they had, but they really were able to turn it around, and they come out of the engagement as a whole 3-1.
No, they definitely made the right choice there with Kamikaze Punk's choice of spawn. Instead of spawning in trying to help out the Bulbous, he knew that he had a good lane to just charge the Spire. And he did a very good job of that, was able to get in close. Spire wasn't able to do enough to prevent that from happening. And so I'm sure I'll learn more about what was going on that Spire, behind the scenes and talking with the Ducks later. But that was a very, very good job done by Sack.
The question is now, it's a 3 points to 1 point situation. If the red team gets an entire team sweep against the Ducks, it's bye-bye on this map. They're done. It's the 5 points that the red team needs to win. Is the Ducks going to play? Are the Ducks going to play a little more conservatively in this scenario?
I mean, you are going to see some conservativeness, but you're not going to see complete cowering away. You're probably not going to see the Merry Tattoo charge out again like we were seeing before, where they were trying to just have the Grinchmas stay back and, the Merry Tattoo do his thing. If they do end up doing that, at least I'm hoping they'll realize this, that once they get that first kill, they just need to, not worry about that second kill and just send the Junker right back to the Spire, because it's so dangerously that Spire on its own. The way that the way they're playing that Spire is so offensively based. It is so weak to a close range brawler. You have to be extremely careful.
Is there a scenario that a Spire could get into where it could be useful as a more, heavily armed close range brawler?
Oh yeah, a Carronade and a Magma. Oh, basically Carronade, Magma, I think Artemis or Carousel combination basically shred anything coming towards it. While you will have, as long as you can turn to the enemy on time, you can take out the enemy balloons so quickly they won't even be able to charge you too terribly effectively. Or a Hwacha Spire is going to be fantastic at disabling enemy components, making it very hard to charge it. There are many things you can do with a Spire to make it close range or long range. It's not so much a question of its range, it's just a question of whether it can kill quickly or not.
Bulbous Demon and Kamikaze Punk are playing it safe here. They're trying to hide as best they can in the dust clouds, going around where they know the blue team is able to spawn, but they are going to appear out of the clouds here in direct line of sight, if my screen is correct, with the Ducks team. Yep, spotted the Bulbous Demons. Both enemy ships are spotted. Both Sacrilege ships have been spotted. The Bulbous Demon is still limping with that permahull that they've had since the beginning of the match. It's been down pretty much this entire time, but they're not letting that get the better of them. They're still fighting on.
I have a bit of a weakness for junkers with very little permahull left. My first main introduction to good competitive play, I was actually able to win a match with functionally no hull armor left on, no permahull left on a junker. So, I hate to say it, I might be rooting for the Bulbous Demon right now.
That's fair enough, although I wouldn't tell your compatriots that.
Hopefully no
Bulbous Demon is taking a lot of fire. That permahull issue may come into effect here. Their permahull is exposed. More shots coming in from that Hades.
Boom. Oh, and Kamikaze Punk is in a bad position.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're now in a 2v1 scenario against a couple ships that excel at this range. Their permahull is already exposed. Their entire ship has been taken out. That's it. 3-3.
Oh, I hate 3-3s.
It's a very nerve-wracking scenario.
Because it's basically, it's so close to disastrous, almost being 4-4. It might as well be in some ways, because you know that if they get that one kill on you, they can probably get that second. It's extremely nerve-wracking. It's almost more nerve-wracking than a 4-4. At a 4-4, you're already tightening up everything. At a 3v3, there's still doubt in your mind whether or not you're really close to winning or losing.
So what do you think the situation is going to be for each of these teams? What's playing through their heads right now? What strategy do you think they're going to try and go to?
I mean, we're probably going to see both teams kind of chill back a little bit. Although the thing is, Sacrilege can't really chill too terribly. They can't, just sit back in their own spawn and take out enemies. So they do have to figure out a way to move in towards the Ducks. And so it looks like they're going to go ahead and oblige them of that. Neither team really can force the other team to do too terribly much since they're both at 3-3. Honestly, I can't really speculate too terribly much about what's going to happen. It's going to be just going to have to wait and see.
Is charging exactly what the Ducks want Sacrilege to do in this scenario, considering they both have ships that work decently at long range?
I mean, ideally, the Ducks would have Sacrilege, charge head on. I wouldn't be surprised to see a more sort of diagonal charge from Sacrilege, allowing them to keep their Artemises in line. But it's going to be hard. Sacrilege knows they needs to at least move a bit closer because their Artemises are outranged by that Lumberjack. But I don't think we're going to see, complete, Hail Mary sort of charge, straight into the jaws of death.
The Ducks have taken to circling around the ribs at this point. They're flying in formation for the most part. I think they're almost trying to drag the Sacrilege ships out into the open in this kind of scenario. But is it a good idea to be moving like this?
Oh, most definitely. You don't want to stand still. You never want to, especially when you're fighting Artemises. You don't want to be staying in one spot. You always want to be moving around, making sure the enemy can't, figure out a good bead. And also, if you'll notice, they're making sure to keep the right side to the world, the junker, because that's their long-range side.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going to constantly be moving. And this is something that a lot of duck teams that do this sort of longer range have picked up. I mean, the paddling was definitely a sniper team, but they certainly weren't a camping team.
Mm-hmm.
Those ships never stopped moving, and that's probably the reason why Squash was such a great captain, was because he was constantly having to fly his galleon backwards, because it was the only way he'd have to fly it backwards because he was always trying to make sure he had one side always facing the enemy. And so he'd be navigating the canyon better in a backwards galleon than I could in a junker.
If our Ducks rep Frogger, if we could just confirm that we are keeping time on this, if there is a time limit. I don't know, to be completely honest. I didn't check with him about that. So, Frogger, if you could just message me on Steam if there is a time limit to this, and if so, how long?
I mean, isn't it only just some duck sack scrims today, or are there?
Yes, that's all.
I don't think there's a time limit, bro.
Okay. Both those ships are just lazily piloting along, trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. Obviously, they don't want to venture out too far or too quickly, but like you said, standing still is can be a death sentence in certain situations.
Now, ducks are actually moving pretty low. Maybe they're just, I don't know. I don't know if that might not have been overly intentional. I might be trying to read too much into it, but no, they're just trying to move around. But it looks like Sacrilege is pretty. Actually, no, Sac is moving in. I'm looking at the map right now. I don't know if they're charging, but they're definitely moving forward with purpose.
It looks like they see the direction of this cloud and where it's moving, and they're going to try and take advantage of
charging
it.
through a moving cloud. Oh.
Risky. A little bit risky, but it's definitely going in the direction they want to go.
I'll have to show you a match where actually Jason and I were able to beat a team that was sniping us out on Duel at Dawn. We were completely pinned down, but we were able to charge through a moving cloud and get into their grill twice. We were able to do the same thing twice, and it worked. But no, it looks like that's what Sacrilege is definitely trying to do, and I don't know if the Ducks have caught on to that yet. I mean, hit that T button to see what they see, and you can see it's not anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Ducks are a little bit in the blind here, not to make a very, very bad joke. Just wait for people to catch up.
Oh, God.
They can't see what's going on yet. There are no sights so far. It looks like Bulbous Demon was... They're burning their engines just a little bit.
I think they might have hit something. Oh, we got a spot.
Oh, wow. Great spot for the
spot?
Bulbous Demon.
Who the heck spotted that?
I'm not sure, to be completely honest.
Oh, God. Duck hacks.
Yeah, I think the spot was from the Bulbous Demon on the Grinchmas, but...
One of the Grinchmas spotted the Bulbous Demon first.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
Oh, dear God. The engagement is coming here. They have general ideas of where each other are, but there is a cloud blocking line of sight on everything. They just have a general idea. Accurate firepower is not an option here right now, but the Elf with the Berry Tattoo is charging in.
Oh, man. All right, we are seeing... Yeah, this is going to be relatively close-range engagement. I don't know if they realize exactly where the enemy is.
I don't think they realize how close they are until just now. The Elf with the Berry Tattoo has sighted the Bulbous Demon, and they are going to try and go in for the kill, I think. They are facing with their close-range side.
This wasn't smart. Come on,
Yeah.
Ducks, you're better than this.
Elf the Merry Tattoo is getting ripped to shreds by the close-range side of the Bulbous Demon. Absolutely destructive. And now the Grinchmas is on its own. Absolutely on its own. This is bad news bears.
Now, the Grinchmas, though, isn't spotted, but that's not stopping him from getting hit.
Yeah, the Bulbous Demon is taking a lot of fire. They lost their balloon for a little bit. All their engines are on fire. They've lost their outer hull. It looks like it's going to be out of this fight for just a little bit. So, if the Grinchmas can survive the Kamikaze Punk, they might be able to come back, but this is looking really bad.
And Adria, if you're watching the replay of this, you left your Phoenix Claw on and destroyed both your turn engines.
Really? I did
saw
not notice that. Ouch. Ouch.
She does that a lot.
That is unfortunate.
Gone you out, Aja. Come on. Come on, Ducks. We're better than this.
The Sacrilege wins this one 5-3.
Hmm.
Congratulations.